What's going on, everyone? It is Julian here from the Art of Fitness and Life, and if this is your first time here, the Art of Fitness and Life is a boutique concierge that helps entrepreneurs, executives, investors, and overall ambitious individuals be ageless, stay at the top of their game, optimize their entire human system, and lastly, of course, run around with their great-grandchildren and not just see them. And ultimately, this is about creating generational health and wealth. Now, in today's video, I'm just going to quickly talk about a discussion I had at the gym recently with an individual about nutrition and overall health in general. And it's something that is actually pretty prevalent in society as well. And that is most people are overfed, but they are undernourished. And I'll say it again. A lot of people are overfed and undernourished. And what this means is that there's a great percentage of people out here who are eating an abundance of calories, but the calories that they're eating is very nutrient devoid of anything worthwhile. It's not per se empty calories, but it's junk calories. And that's one of the critical issues when it comes to one of the big issues with nutrition today is that people are eating, but the food that they're eating has no substance in it. Now, on the other hand, there is a group out there who is actually maybe even eating what you would say they're eating healthy, but they're just not nearly eating enough. And so that is an issue as well, because a lot of times we focus on obesity and we focus on people being overweight. And while that is an issue, absolutely, there is a percentage of people out there who are also chronically undernourished and just depleted. You can see a normal individual with if you just look at him with at face value, he looks just like an average individual because he doesn't, a lot of times have like a gut sticking out or a belly or anything. But if we would look and take some blood from this guy, go to the lab, or take a micronutrient test, we would see that this guy also is just as depleted from a micronutrient standpoint as the other person who has the belly that you can see that is overweight. And so these are two issues, maybe from different spectrums, but both are suffering from a micronutrient deficiency. And that's the last thing that I'm going to mention here, is that a lot of times we focus on macros when it comes to nutrition. We talk about our protein, we talk about our carbs, we talk about our fats, but we do not talk about the breakdown of those nutrients there. We do not talk about all the vitamins and minerals that we need and the different amino acids. Now, that's part of proteins, but there's still a certain breakdown of proteins, and certain proteins that we eat are a complete and some are not a complete. But that's a whole different conversation for another day. Also, we have to think about micronutrients from a standpoint of antioxidant status, immune functioning. We also have to think about, because these vitamins, these minerals, these micronutrients that are often overlooked. And I think I wrote this in my book years ago, that the macros, the protein, carbs, and fats are what you would say are your actors, and they get all the spotlight. Their name is on the poster when you go to the theater and you walk by. But the micronutrients are the people who actually produce the movie, who actually make the entire movie feasible, actually be able to happen. They're the production crew, the stunt people, the people you don't see in the background, but they're the ones who's making everything running smoothly. And I'll use an example, and something simple as vitamin K1 and K2, and then vitamin D with K2, and just how beneficial that is to our bone health, how beneficial that is to clotting, and just so many other factors. And with the last virus that went around for the last few years, we saw studies that people who had higher levels of vitamin D did not get as sick as others who had much lower vitamin D. And vitamin D is so cheap. But we also have to remember that these things are a system. So it's not just taking vitamin D, but it's taking vitamin D with K2 because it needs its cofactor. We don't want just a bunch of vitamin D just hanging around in the blood. We want it to get to where it needs to go. And that's where the K2 helps to shuttle it. And then it tags calcium in, and you got magnesium and all those good things. But the point being of this is just to serve as a brief reminder to have a diet that you're eating enough food. Obviously, you're picking good choices, but the foods that you eat, make sure that they are nutrient dense, that you're getting the wide spectrum of the vitamins and the minerals, and then the deficiencies then that you see in your diet. That's when you can look into different supplementations and different vitamins that helps specifically for you based on your unique lifestyle and your unique genetics. Now, some of the things that typically I would tell everyone to take is some type of multivitamin, multimineral, a vitamin D, K2 supplement, and probably an omega-3 supplement as well, because most people tend to not eat fish consistently week in and week out to get that. And you can measure this stuff all in the lab again. And one of the good micronutrient tests that I mentioned briefly while I was talking, but I'll mention again as we end this, is to look into Spectral Cell. I think they do a very good micronutrient test, and I think it's over 300 various things that you're going to analyze. So it's a very good test. It's one of the things that I use inside the practice with clients as we're doing an initial assessment. So if that is, so if that is of interest to you, then reach out to me, email me, Julian@theartoffitnessandlife.com, and I'll have that in the description as well. But other than that, stay awesome, be limitless, and as always, never stop upgrading. Peace.